Hey everybody, it's Amy. Welcome back to my channel. How is everybody doing? I know I'm late again. This week has just been something else. I hope the sound is okay. I feel like maybe it's a Samsung thing. I don't know. Let me try moving you a little bit and see if I get the sound situation. Okay, so welcome back to another Flosstube. This channel is mostly about cross stitch, but occasionally I show other things I do, including sewing, diamond painting, and crocheting sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes. So yeah, let's get started. So I have a whip that's on my Lowry that I'm going to take my phone off to put well, I'm just going to show it to you on the Lowry because I really don't want to take it off the Lowry. So, yeah. I didn't work on as many projects this week just because I just haven't felt like it. I don't want to say my stitching was slowed down, but when I went to my mom's, I didn't really stitch a whole lot over there. And since I've been back here, I have worked on a few things, so, you know, there's that. And let me think. That's about it. We're still on Christmas break. This is my last night. Tomorrow's Sunday. It's my last day. And then we go back to school on Monday already. Today is only the 31st. So we go back on the 2nd, which I kind of hate. But then we have 2 weeks, and then we have a day off and a half day in January. And then February is a short month, and then March is spring break, and I feel like it's gonna go by fast. We shall see. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just see what happens from there. So let's start with finishes. I actually have a finish this time. So I don't think I showed this last time. I can't remember if I think I left it out just because it was on my Lowry and I didn't feel like taking it off in my last Flosstube. But I have a finish. This is, hold on, let me get the chart because it's still right here. I left my water way over there on the counter. I was working on a Halloween sampler from Cottage Garden Samplings. I substituted almost everything in this chart. No, everything. Mainly because so the letters were supposed to be in this like bluish navy blue variegated thread. You can see there's some areas where it's really light, some areas where it's super dark. I had ordered this. It was supposed to be what is it, Blackboard from Gentle Arts, and when I ordered it, I like to get my fancy floss from Little, oh, what's it called? Little Thread Shop, I think it's called. Margaret, she sends you an email every month with her like sales of what she has, and she carries fancy floss. So I ordered them from her. This was like 2 years ago, and she sent me the wrong ones. She sent me like a light blue of some other color. It wasn't even Blackboard. It was something from Classic Colorworks, and I asked for an exchange because she sent me the wrong ones, and she did not. She swore up and down that I sent her my order form stating the wrong color that she sent me, which was like a light blue, and it wasn't even variegated. So I backtracked, found the email, still sent it to her, and told her this was what my order was, and she said that that's not what she had. I even asked her, I said, okay, so can I just order that one and I will pay for it because I really need these colors? And she chose to not contact me back after that, and since then I have not ordered from her. I still get the emails of her sales and stuff. That's not to say that I won't order from her, but I just haven't. And it's been a good deal of time, at least 2 years, maybe longer, because this was even before I moved out of my house. So it's been probably longer than 2 years. when I was kitting this project up. So I finally finished it, and this is what it looks like. There it is. So I subbed everything with what I had on hand. The big letters, the A, B, C, D, those are Smoke, which is a hand-dyed floss that I dyed myself when I had the Floss of the Month Club that I no longer do. I hope to do it again. I'd like to do it again. So that's what those are. That's Smoke from MDA. And the blue is a Victorian motto. It's just a mix between Mystical Diamond Art Floss, Victorian motto, Gentle Art. No, not Gentle Art. I have it here too. Oh, please. Don't mind my big old face. I have it here. Just 1 second. At least I think I did. Yeah. So the blue was Victorian motto, Twilight Time. Victorian Motto is also another company that I no longer order from, just because I had bad experiences with them too. That's a whole different story. The white is Antique Lace from Classic Colorworks. I use the Golden Star from Classic Colorworks. I have another Victorian Motto, Yellow Sunflower. And then I have a Color and Cotton, Apricot. And then I used Weeks Dye Works Battleship and Basil. And I kind of just not only pulled what I already had in my stash, but also things that would make a good color, because a lot of the chart was charted in this color that was supposed to be for the big letters, and I didn't want the cat, the cauldron, and the boot to all be in that same color. I felt like it was too much. With the color that I chose had less variegation than that, and so I changed it up, and I think it looks great. And it is complete, and I love it. Very cute. Took way longer than I wanted it to take, considering how small this is. It's not very big at all. I stitched this on a 32 count Joblin 2/2 on a Bestitch Me fabric called Tree Hugger, and it's this cool kind of Halloweeny green color. This would also be a good color for Bump Into Night. I'm stitching that one on a darker fabric, I think. So I am done with that. That's my only finish, and it'll probably be my only finish for some time. I'm thinking of sorting through my projects to come up with, like in my active whips, my hair's getting frizzy because it's wet and it's drying, air drying. Sorting my active projects into like almost done and not done. That way when I feel like pushing for a finish, I can pull one of those. That's why I pulled that one out, because I was really pushing for a finish. I still keep buying more stuff and getting more stuff up, and I feel super overwhelmed by my stash. My stash is definitely going to outlive me. So there's that. Then I worked more on the Winter Geisha. These are now my whips, so I worked more on this. I was pushing for a page finish on this one. You know, I started this purple this purple piece is the middle, so I started here. I'm not doing any of the back stitching until the page is complete, because I need to make a second copy of the chart to run the back stitch through, or maybe I'll just use it from the chart. I don't know, because I'm not using the original chart. I photocopied it, and then I just am, when I do that, I throw the pages out as I'm done with them, because I don't like marking up the original chart. I know some charts say that you cannot photocopy them. I recently got a chart from, I can't remember where, and on there it says that you can't even make a copy to work from, and I find that very unreasonable, because it gets all messed up and you're marking it, especially when there's backstitch and all kinds of things. I don't know, that's just me. So I know I showed this in my last video, so I showed you what it looked like last time. So then I moved it in the Q-snap, so I covered the bottom a little bit so you can't see the end of like the bottom of that page like I showed you guys before, and I started filling in everything. So everything down here, these are all beads. All of these openings here are all beads. And the only thing left on this page that I need to complete is from here up on this side here, right there. And this part, I can't remember what these 4 here. It might be beads, but I don't think there's 4 beads together like that. And yeah, so I just need to complete that, and that's it. And then I will have a page finish. I'm almost done. And I was pushing for it, and then one day I just took it off and decided to work on something else. So, but it's still here sitting in my active whips because blues are some of my favorite colors to stitch with, especially when you're working on a nice fabric. Oh, like this, like Lugana and Joblin, they're very nice fabrics to work with, and it just makes the stitches go in very smooth. So this is a piece of Stitch Me. It's always Stitch Me. 32 count Lugana in April Showers. I'm pretty sure this was a fabric of the month one. And it is, I'm stitching it 2/2. So there's that. I kept it on the Q-snap. I actually really like the mini Q-snap because I don't have to reach as far. I think these are 11 by 11. I don't have to reach as far in my Lowry, and it keeps my non-dominant arm under, like not as high up, and my shoulder doesn't get tired. So there's that. Then I worked on Pixcel a little bit more. Then I have, yeah, this is what it looks like. I talked about this in more detail in my last video, so if you want to hear more about that, you can go to the Flosstube before this one. This is what it's going to look like when it's complete. I started up here, and my page went to here, I think, and I've moved on to the second page down here of blocks. So I will put a picture of what it looked like last time here because I know I showed it. And what it looks like now, I moved my Q-snap down, so the top part you're not going to see. So it looks a little different because that part's now covered, and I moved it down. So this page, the outline is done, and now I'm filling in the cubes. This gets very boring. Especially because I'm working on a larger Q-snap. My arm does get very tired, and this rocking chair that I sit in, the armrests are weird that when I put a pillow here, there's not enough room between the arm of my Lowry and the pillow to put my arm and rest on it so that my shoulder doesn't get sore. So that's why I stopped right there. There was a few blocks that I needed to finish from up here. I finished those. And then now I'm coming down here. This is the dark green that I mentioned in the last one that I will be switching out. I just haven't taken the time to do it yet. So I will be doing that. So there's that. I don't think I showed you guys this last time, but I did pull out Mini Heaven's Window from Heaven and Earth Designs. This is a restart. I had started this on, I think, like 25 count Lugana or 28 count Lugana. I can't remember what. Didn't like it, so I restarted it because it was a mini. I changed it to 18 count Ada, so I can do 2/1, and I'm absolutely loving it. But I'm finding that I started here in this corner, the colors don't match what the picture looks like. Like the picture looks so much more brown and orange than what's coming out. I don't have a picture of what this looked like before. Let me tighten this back up. And this is what it's looking like now. There's a ton of red down here, which is 814, and then this bush that's coming up has all been black. And it's actually not even a bush. It's supposed to be this cactus right here, and there's a ton of green in there. And so far, I haven't picked up any green in here. You can see like previous stitches that I messed up that I had to unpick. but that's all going to be covered because it's a full coverage. Right now it's just super confetti and super annoying, and so I wasn't as into stitching this. I only worked on this for like one day for like an hour, and I just filled in some of these stitches here because I'm trying to close this up. But yeah, it's just, I'm kind of frustrated with it because it's not looking like down here. I was expecting more light browns and stuff, not this stark red. So I'm hoping as I continue, I know a lot of people say, especially with the heaven and earth, is you need to trust the pattern. And that's what I'm doing, or trying to do anyway. I know it's going to look absolutely gorgeous once it's done. Again, I'm working this on 18 count Ada. This is a artwork by Andy Russell. Again, Heaven and Earth design. So working on that, and then I'm going to take you guys and flip you over and show you what I'm working on now. So I showed this a couple of Flosstubes ago, maybe 2 Flosstubes ago. I have a new start. I started working on Jack Skellington. I just couldn't hold off on it any longer, so I purchased all of the floss to kit it up, and it turned out I already had some 18 count Ada to stitch it on, and so I am really digging working my projects on 18 count Ada. I don't know why, I just am. So especially these ones, I think he's only going to be 8 inches across. 8 inches across and 24 inches down. So he's going to be quite long, but only 8 inches across is perfect. So there we have it. That's what that's going to look like. And when I started it last week, I went, I think like 2 weeks ago, and only purchased all the blues and the blacks and grays of whatever colors that were going to be here. And then yesterday I had a coupon that was going to expire for Michael's today for 20% off. I already get 15% off because I have a teacher discount, but I went ahead and did the 20% off because it saves more. It doesn't let me stack them, unfortunately. So I got the floss cheaper to go ahead and finish getting this up. So I got everything else that I needed for this except for a couple of Michael's stopped like at 38.50 or so ish. There, 38.52, somewhere around there. They stopped their DMC, so I didn't get any of the higher 38s that I need, which kind of sucks. So I don't have any of those. So there are some spaces left in the chart, which if I was doing this on a higher count fabric, I would not have left the spaces. I would have ordered them and waited until they came in. But because I'm working this on 18 count Ada, it's easier for me to go ahead and block those stitches in, because I'm trying really hard to not block anything in. But if I want to continue with the chart, I need to block them in, and so that's what I did. I think it'll be fine. And yeah, so I've started up here in this corner, and I've gotten to right up against where this decoration is coming down. I've stitched all this, and then I came down this way, and I've got this little square, actually no, I got this square stitched in. Well, it's missing a couple of stitches, but you'll see it boxed out. And then I've started on this band coming around here, just like that. And I got this from Creatively Crafting on Etsy. As far as I'm aware, these are legally licensed Mandy Manzano pieces. And she has the superhero ones as well that I do plan on ordering too at some point when I get a full coverage finish. I want to order the Loki one because I just like Loki. All right, let me turn you around. This is where I'm at with it. So you can see that little square I was talking about. My outline is coming around this way in the band. You can see it here. And then all of my parked threads, because I am stitching this in Pattern Keeper. It did import. There was a couple of colors that it did not pick up, but it allows you to go in, pick it. It shows you the symbol, and it allows you to pick which DMC it's supposed to be, and then it was fine. So that's what it looks like. These are all my threads that I chopped off that I haven't done anything with yet. And yeah, so new start on that one. Then hopefully that wasn't too crazy. I actually forgot that I have another whip right here. So I took this to my mom's and put a couple of stitches in, but I didn't take let me turn you a bit. I didn't take a Q-snap or any kind of frame with me, which kind of sucks. I should have, but I didn't. It's just like, we'll just see where it goes. And I, whoops, put a couple stitches in on this. I started up here in the corner, so I literally don't have anything. It doesn't look like anything. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection kit, and this is the Fall Fairy. I've had this for such a long time. As soon as I saw it, I knew that I needed to have it. The only thing I don't like about the Dimensions stuff, oh yeah, it does. So these are by Ruth Sanderson, and these actually used to be on Heaven and Earth, and then they were retired. And when I found that out, I was like, man, so I need to make sure. Some places still have the Heaven and Earth charts available, probably just because they purchased so many and they're still in stock. But I had already bought this one, and there's a matching one. So I was like, I just need to keep it this so that they're both the same. So I did put some stitches in on this. Let me put this back. Hold these. Okay. Not too many, but I love how clear the dimensions charts are. They're very nice to stitch from. And that's what I had. So when I started it, I only had the dark and some of this lighter brown right here. And then I put in these. These aren't half stitches. These are regular stitches, but I was just running out of thread, and I like to go back so that if in the event that I can continue, you know, I cannot travel as much. So yeah, that's literally all I got. Maybe 100 stitches if I was lucky. I really like working on the Dimensions Ada. It's very smooth. Also, the Dimensions Floss is very smooth too. It's, thought somebody was pulling up. It's very it has like a very silky feel to it, and it just glides through. The only thing is I don't like pulling the threads off of these. It's very difficult, in my opinion, to pull a thread. It's like, oh, we have pre-sorted your thread. Use this organizer to identify your thread. Sure, they pre-sorted it, but it's very hard to pull one strand out, at least for me. I don't know why. It just has been, and I don't want to take a whole one out. So yeah. And then for some reason, they put this one strand of, can you see it? One strand of gold on there, but then there's a whole nother thing of floss in here. Like, yeah, it's in here. There's a lot of floss. I don't know why they did it that way. And then the other floss, I braided it. It doesn't come braided. And then it has these tags on it, and then the rest of the gold is here. So I don't know why they did that. Very odd, but it is. What I like about these tags though is that they're like plastic, so they're not gonna like rub off or anything. So there's that. This is in a case, a Garand Toten Bags case that Amy Sprinklestein gave me one time. I can't remember if it was for my birthday or Christmas or what, but it fits these Dimensions kits perfectly. I have a lot of like full coverage pieces, and I like to store my Q-snaps inside my bags, and I find that the Garand Toten Bags just don't allow that. They don't give me enough like opening here to do that for the larger Q-snaps. And so this is the only bag that I have, but Amy knows me so well. It's an absolutely gorgeous bag because I love books. And I love how they matched up right here. They match up almost perfectly. Yeah, I don't know how they were able to make that happen, but they did. So yeah, there's that. This is not in my active whips. It was just something that I pulled off my shelf when I was going to my mom's, and was like, I'm just gonna take that with me because it's easy, ready to go. And I grabbed it and left because most of my projects have a pair of scissors in them. So there's already scissors in here, needles in here, everything that I needed to go except for a Q-snap. So I did that. This will go back on my non-active shelf. And then haul. So hold please. Okay. Well, I'll start with this. This is a free stitch along from, oh my gosh, I think it's V. I can't remember. I'll put it here. I I don't remember where I found it at. I saw it at first and then I was like, nah, I don't like it. And then I ended up really liking it. It's the Matrix thing, and it just looks so freaking cool. I don't know why. So I'm hoping that it's not as blurry here, like when I start stitching it up. And she's coming out in pieces. I think it's once a week, or I don't know, because I don't know how long it is, but there's 15 parts to it, and eventually it's going to be this. That's the colors. It doesn't call for too many colors. It's 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 18, 19 colors, which isn't too bad. On an 18 count Aida, it's going to be 16.5 by 11, which is still good size. And yeah, I just, hold on, is there a 310 in here? Yes, 32,000. So you could opt to stitch this on 310. I mean, you can opt to stitch this on a black fabric and just do the green, which is something that I think I might do. I've never stitched on black fabric, but I think it'll be okay. And then you don't have to stitch all that black, because most of this chart's black. So yeah, we'll see how it works. I think that would be cool, and then I think it'd give it some dimension, so maybe I'll do that. Then I had some Mercari credit and decided to, why is this not like going in right? So this was a little bit broken, which is fine. The edge was starting to tear when I received it. It was like halfway, and then I just tore the rest thinking it would be a good idea. No, it's not. It would have been easier to keep the flap. So I'm going to tape it back up. It was not opened at all. This is another gold collection, but this is the Woodland Enchantress. So I said that this was the matching piece to the Fall Fairy. In my mind, they are. I don't think they actually are, but they look very similar. And they're facing the same direction. They're making the same motion. They've got similar, styling of the dress, and they remind me of each other. And so I think they're the same size. They're both by Ruth Sanderson. If my memory serves correctly, they're both retired charts from Heaven and Earth Designs, and these are difficult to find. So I had a little bit of Mercari credit, and the seller had offered a discount. So when you put, my hair is just not having it right now. When you put stuff in your cart on Mercari and you don't buy it, it'll send the, my dog keeps whining. It'll send the seller a notification that somebody had it in their cart, and then it'll offer you like a private discount. And so that's what it came through. And then with the Mercari credit that I had, it ended up being a price that I was comfortable paying. I've had this in my saved for later Amazon cart forever, and it was always like 40 or 50 bucks. So yeah, there's that. And then oh, I finally got the last two fabrics of the month from Be Stitch Me. So I have December's and November's fabrics of the month, and then I canceled it going into the new year because I'm going to be saving every penny for a house. So I needed to make some room in my budget for that. So I think this was November's, if I'm not mistaken. So I did the Even Weave Club with the preference for Joblin, and then you get varying counts. I said any count, and then it is the Mixed Color Club. And so what it is a color one month and then a neutral another month, and it just alternates like that. You can also do only color club and only neutral club, if I'm not mistaken. So November's was Whimsical, and I got a 18 by 27 piece that's 28 count Joblin, and it's this very fun like periwinkle, it's pretty accurate color Very cute. This one does not have a ton of modeling in it. I think these pieces are going to be good for some Bella Filipinas. And since I have so much full coverage pieces with even more that I want to do, that's one of the reasons why I just chose not to continue with the club. I've had it for the past maybe 6 months or so and just decided, you know what, I need to just stop. You know, 6 pieces of fabric really isn't all that much to add to my stash, but I have a whole 12 by 12 bin filled with fabric, most of it be Stitch Me, and that's not including all the other projects I have going on. December, I got an even bigger piece of fabric. This month was a neutral color for me. This one I got an 18 by 34 piece. It's ginormous. And this one actually came in 32 count Joe Blend in the color Portobello. I love that name. It's a very cute name. This one has a ton of modeling in it. This one reminds me more of hot chocolate than anything else. So this is ginormous. I'm not gonna be able to show you the whole thing in the camera with how close I'm sitting, but that's what it looks like. Just a huge piece of fabric. It's big. I don't know what I'm gonna use this for. I don't know, because this way isn't very long. It says it's 18, but what you should know is that is the pre-cut or the pre-dyed cut. So it's not actually this long. If you measure it now, it's probably gonna measure shorter. Let me see, because I did this before and I learned that. And when I first started getting her fabrics, I measured it and I told her, I said, this isn't the size that you told me it was. Yeah, it's just under 17 and a half. And that includes the surged, measuring tape down. That includes the surged edge. So 17 and a half. So that's how much it shrinks when you dye it. So I don't actually have the full 18 inches of dyed space, but it's still the 32 count before she dyes it, and so she keeps it at the 32 count as well, even though it shrunk. So when you stitch on it, you're still stitching. You can still use does that make sense? Whatever. I like this part came out like, looks like feathers. So I don't know what I'm going to use for this. It's a very long, skinny piece of fabric, and that's another reason why I decided to stop for now, is because the main reason is that I'm not pressed for fabric, but the second reason is also because this is such a pretty piece. Also because I kept getting these long rectangle pieces. I don't always get the rectangle pieces like that, and that's the way she cuts her fabric. Her fabric is always 18 across, but sometimes you get the 29, the 27, or the 21. The 18 by 21 pieces are more square. I would love if she made more square cuts instead of rectangle cuts, but I understand the way the bolts of fabric come are 36 inches on one side, and so when you cut that in half, it's 18. You know, I understand how the cuts go. I don't know if I feel like she might have changed her cuts. I don't know. I might just making stuff up out of my head. But with the long rectangle pieces, I just don't need as many right now. With the projects that I have planned, again, I don't, yeah. So that's what I got. We shall see what the new year brings us. I think I'm finally comfortable with what I have, that I don't need to go rushing and buying things anymore. I'm gonna stop looking at Etsy. I have to stop looking at Etsy. I did not buy anything on the last Heaven and Earth sale, which was, I think, the Christmas sale, ended on the 27th if I'm not mistaken. I just don't need anymore. You know, I think I'm at a place where I'm happy with what I have. Not that I haven't been. I've always loved my stash, but there's so many things that I want to stitch. And then I'll put a picture. These are all gonna go. I'll put a picture here of the project. So I talked about Michael's when I bought the rest of the floss for the Jack portrait thing. So when I went to Michael's, I decided to finish kitting up the Grand Library from Heaven and Earth. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure it first, but my I have a chart from Cairo Marchetti that's half kitted, partially kitted with a piece of fabric, of easy grid fabric. I'm going to check the count, see if it's 25 or 28. Not that it matters, because I think I'm going to do it anyway, but I'm going to measure it, and I think it should also fit the Grand Library on it. And if it does, because I have no inclinations of wanting to start that Cairo Marchetti chart anytime soon, I'm going to pull the fabric from that chart and start it. And I needed about 100 skeins of floss for that chart still, to fully kit it up to get it where I needed it to be. And this is the Michael's receipt for the floss and for the Grand Library, and then the few skeins that I needed for the Jack one. Actually, that's not even all of them, because I need more for the Jack, because like I said, they didn't have any of the high 38, so I'd still need probably another 15 skeins for that one, but it is what it is. So yeah, I have this bag full of floss that I need to sort. I saw 2 Michael's coupons, 20% off by the 7th, which I'm probably not gonna spend. Full chart, I mean, tons of floss that I need to, I meant to keep them separate, so I knew which ones went to Grand Library and which ones went to Jack, and I forgot, and I accidentally combined them when I was counting them to see how many I had. The cool thing about Michael's is you can scan these, not like at Hobby Lobby where they count them all individually, and it doesn't matter like which color you have at Hobby Lobby. At Michael's, you scan them all, and it works. Now Michael's has self-checkout, so you can do it yourself. It is what it is. But yeah, so now I have to sort all these, figure out which one goes where. It's gonna be fine though. And then we're gonna start Grand Library. Now that I have a project bag freed up from the Halloween chart, from the Halloween sampler, I think I'm gonna use that for Grand Library, and that's gonna be my new start for the new year. And hopefully, I don't want to say not any other new starts, because I put this one into my active whips because I also want to start this one. This one's like semi full coverage in the middle, and I want to start it because yes, I'm a Ravenclaw. Because I just love it. I have all the colors here. If I'm not mistaken, it's fully kitted. No, it's not. Let me see what I'm missing. 939. I think I have plenty of 939. But I have enough to start that, and I have a piece of 18 count Ada in here already that I hand dyed myself. So if I'm gonna start anything, it's gonna be this one. This is big enough. So what I liked is that the background is gonna be this gray, and then obviously it's gonna be here in the middle, because I was originally gonna use this Ada for Raven Queen, and then I decided to re-dye her fabric, and then I haven't done it since. So yeah, that is another new start that I want to do, and I feel like that's probably it. I have a really good rhythm right now with the projects that I do have going, that I feel like I could finish these relatively soon, especially at the rate that I've been stitching. I've been pushing to get 30 minutes in of stitching every single day. It's been working out for me, and I hope to keep doing that. So yeah, that is all. I was hoping to keep this video under 30 minutes. Doesn't look like it's gonna be, but I will see how much I end up editing out. And I like holding these. Anyways, I'm gonna put these back in their bags, go put some of this stuff away, and then probably stitch. So thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next Flosstube.